Right now, it almost looks like we have a conspiracy murder between two people who didn't even know they were conspiring. Ardell and Dr. Vince.
You have a manslaughter confession from Dr. Minotto, which his lawyer will definitely try to toss. Plus, Ardell Levesque lawyered up as soon as we brought up the medication tampering.
I feel rotten about that. Child Protection Services will take care of Odessa, but who wants to be separated from her newborn? Honestly, I hope the fraud charge doesn't stick.
I don't know. I think Mrs. Levesque isn't talking because she's hoping we can't close the deal on an attempted murder charge.
You know, she was definitely involved with the prescription fraud, but it doesn't mean she's the one who emptied the medication.
Brass, I need you to come down here and process some evidence. Let's just say Ms. Levesque has baggage. When we took Miss Levesque into custody, she checked this handbag into property. Law says that her possessions at the time of arrest are admissible as evidence, so I thought her stuff might tell you more than she did.
Cyclopurox. We'll have to look up exactly what that is, but it was prescribed by a Dr. Vicente Minotto to a Mr. Lyle Fitzer. Her apartment's lock uses a traditional key. Only the boiler room for the practice space requires a key card. It makes sense that Dr. Minotto would have one, but why would Miss Levesque? Nice print. They don't come much cleaner than that, at least not without ink. Hey, Nick.
Hey, how's it going? I've got something that might be right up your alley. This case I'm working on has some serious conspiracy theory vibes. What's got me stuck right now is this piece of 19th century parchment. I think there's some kind of code in the text, but I can't figure it out. Care to give it a shot?
It's a palimpsest. There was something written on this parchment, then scraped off and written over, maybe more than once. I can see the words, all 7 of them, but they don't make any sense. 7 more nonsense words. Nick's right, it's got to be a code of some sort. Seven words again. There's got to be some kind of pattern there. Maybe we should try the first letter of each word from each hidden page. But in what order? That's 5 layers so far. How many are there? Another layer, more nonsense. Have you noticed a pattern to the colors of light we've used? What color of the rainbow haven't we done yet? 7 colors in the rainbow and 7 words per page of hidden data. Seems to suggest an order in which to place the letters. Let's write them all down. We've solved your parchment puzzle, Nick. It was a palimpsest.
So there was hidden text underneath what we could see?
7 layers of it. And that was in code. You want to know what it said?
Nah, I'd rather wait for the movie. Okay. Please, tell me what you found.
Seek the Star of the North in the home of our glorious leader.
Hey, that's great. I don't know what it means yet, but at least it's something else to chew on.
Cyclopyrox, just like it says on the label. Okay, that perfectly formed print on the keycard belongs to Lyle Fitzer. I wonder if Ardell's keeping Mom to protect her son and not just herself. Cyclopyrox is a synthetic antifungal agent intended for topical dermatologic use.
Hey, brass again. Gas company turned off the gas in Dr. Minotto's building. You can go back to process the pipe.
Hard as a rock. If we try to pull it off now, we'll take half the pipe with it. I know just who to call. I'll put it on speaker.
This is Stokes.
Hey, Nick. Quick question. You ever removed caulk from a pipe before?
Aren't you supposed to be back at the crime scene?
I am back at the crime scene. I need to remove some caulk from a pipe. Do you know how to do it?
Okay, basically you need two things. A heat gun and some denatured alcohol.
A heat gun and denatured alcohol? You know, I can't say those are standard issue with the field kit. How am I...
Don't worry, I'll be right over.
Great. We aren't going anywhere. That was tricky. I'm glad I'm not a contractor.
What? You don't like showing up at noon and making boatloads of money?
I just don't like removing caulk. So thanks for your help.
Anytime. Good luck with the pipe.
Looks like a bit of fingernail. We might or might not be able to get a DNA sample from that depending on whether it took any skin with it. I definitely want to get a closer look at that discoloration, though. Someone cut a hole in that pipe. I'm beginning to think Dr. Minotto's mea culpa was just a ploy to avoid murder one. Well, there's nothing there that would give us a DNA sample, but those growths are consistent with a fungal infection. We have a fingernail loaded with fungus and a prescription for an antifungal agent made out to Lyle Fitzer. Maybe Lyle couldn't restrain himself after all. Captain, we've just flipped our case on its head.
Let me guess. The butler did it.
How'd you know? Actually, we're thinking it was the stepson.
What do you need?
We think he may have tampered with the furnace pipe at his stepfather's practice space.
Based on what evidence? Well, we already have a warrant to search the house for signs of medication tampering. It shouldn't be too difficult to get the parameters expanded in light of this new evidence.
And this must be Lyle's room. Just a guess. We're looking for a tool, something that could have punched a hole in those rusty pipes. Probably a chisel from the look of the mold we took, but let's not assume. Good thinking. The knife blades are a little smaller than our mold, but he might have tried using it. There could be trace. I always wondered if people actually use those things to pick their teeth. There's something on the end of it. White powder. That could be a lot of things. Very few of them good. Chisel. The residue on the toothpick is methotrexate. Lyle was tampering with his stepfather's medication. Dr. Minotto's negligence wasn't responsible for the carbon monoxide leak. Lyle broke the pipe open.
Yeah? That search warrant played out, huh? Do you have enough evidence? Looks like we got him for premeditated murder.
And what do you know? It's a perfect fit to the hole in the pipe.
I didn't do it with my bare hands. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have the guts to kill that son of a bitch with my bare hands. Did my mom tell you what happened the day Odessa was born?
Yes. He pushed her and induced her labor.
What kind of person does that, huh? Oh my god, I should have killed him right then. But my mother was about to give birth, so I drove her right to the hospital. And then, do you know what he had the nerve to do? He came to the hospital like nothing had ever happened. He came to the hospital to watch his real child be born. I bought a hammer and the chisel that afternoon. I chipped away at that pipe just enough so it looked like corrosion. I wanted to get away with it. Yes, I did. Because I wanted to be able to get away with my mother and little sister as far away from this city as possible. So I tried to make it sort of look like if anyone was responsible, it was that slumlord Dr. Minotto. I'm sure he deserved to be in jail for something anyway. I probably told myself I was doing you guys a favor. I don't know. Hey, I didn't mess with his pills. You want to know the best day of my life? The day I heard Andrew got cancer. You want to know the worst day of my life? Every day after that was a tie. So, I decided to make sure that nothing would stop that cancer from doing its thing. I'd pop open those pills, and I'd pour out that crap, and I'd pray.
You know, there was another way out of this. You could have called us.
Seriously, like my mother would ever press charges against that bastard? No way. Jeez, she was always seeing in his eyes how he changed, or how he was about to change, or how Odessa had changed him. There was only one way our lives were going to change. I was sick, and I was tired. Sometimes he'd brag about how what didn't kill me would make me stronger. Well, he was right about that, I guess. I really didn't care about anything, except killing him.
Maybe you should have thought a little bit more about your mother and Odessa. You don't think she's gonna need her brother?
I did the best I could for both of them.
You two did a great job on this case. It was quite a maze. But all roads ultimately led to Lyle.
I feel sorry for Miss Levesque. Her life has been turned upside down. She's lost her husband, her son is going to jail for murder, and she just had a baby.
There is a bright side. Jim talked to the DA's office, and they have no interest in pursuing the prescription fraud case.
And both Ardell and Dr. Vince go free?
Ms. Levesque has already left, but we still have Dr. Minetto in custody for tampering with the crime scene. He might not have meant any harm, but he still made our job harder than it needed to be. I'm hungry. Either of you interested in breakfast?